Hey guys, so I just finished filming a DIY video and I want to take all of that stuff up to my antique booth, Green Onion Vintage, but I also have some thrifted items that I just grabbed that I want to add to the pile. I need to price everything and then get it up to the shop. So I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that I'm taking up to the shop now, and then I'll show you how it all looks in the booth later. So here's everything I just DIY'd, and these are all going to go up into the antique booth right now. So I have these two little burlap sacks for springtime. I have this little farmer's market step stool, this picnic basket that I decoupaged this Cavallini poster on top, this laundry sign that's actually made out of a little antique ironing board, and then this little shutter with the wreath. So that's everything that I just DIY'd. And then now I'm just going to add in some of the other items I just thrifted. Everything that I thrifted, I didn't really have to do anything to this time. I just added some greenery because I'm trying to bring some nice spring life to our booth. So let me just toss in everything else that I have to price and take up there. Okay, so not a ton of stuff, but this will definitely make a big impact in the booth. I paid like $5 for each of these signs. That together is my favorite place to be. And then this welcome sign, that was at the thrift shop. And then I snagged this really cool antique bell. Got some like really good gold details. I went to Goodwill at a really good time. It was like a really rainy, gross day, and so nobody was there yet. And I don't normally find things there at all to resell, but I found some really good gems. So that's another thing. I got this little watering can. I just added some greenery. And then this little galvanized planter that I added the lavender to. And then this basket I thought was so cool. It has a little hook on the back that it can hang on the wall. I only paid $3 for it. And then these are the eggs that I DIY'd last year. They're wooden eggs from Michael's. I stained them a little bit darker, and then I used an IOD transfer to just put these little vegetable images on the front. So I'm going to sell that as a little set, and I thought that was a really cute way to display those. I wasn't sure how to sell the eggs, so this actually works out really great. So now on to probably what will be the most time-consuming part, which is just pricing everything, and then I'll show you the booth once I get up there. Now before I'm able to head up to the shop and put all my things in my booth, I really need to take advantage of the fact that my husband has the day off today so that he can help me install 2 new light fixtures that were sent my way from Parrot Uncle. So a huge thanks to Parrot Uncle for sending some new light fixtures. I'm always looking for new ways to add character to my very builder grade home. And so this is one way I've been itching to get some new character, is by adding some light fixtures that are actually interesting to our home. We have these very basic white ceiling fans right now in my boys' room, and so I thought it'd be a really good place for us to put what Parrot Uncle calls fandeliers. So they look like light fixtures, but they actually have hidden fan blades up above, and so you don't actually know that it's a ceiling fan until you turn the fan blades on, and then they kind of open up. But as you can see on their website here, they have a huge variety of light fixtures. It was actually so hard for me to decide which ones to pick when they made that offer to me. But I thought we would just start in my boys' room. I know that they would love that kind of hidden fan blade feature. And Parrot Uncle is known for having really easy installation. And so even though my husband and I haven't done very many light fixtures in the past, we felt really confident that we'd be able to knock these out fairly easily. We actually had a harder time getting the old light fixture down, but since we had to do 2, we really just had a lot of learning to do with the first light, and then by the time we went to install the second one, it was no problem. I would say the installation, once we knew what we were doing, still took about an hour with all the teardown time. But I love the way that these look. They're really nice and industrial, but I feel like if we ever go to sell our home, they will actually be more of a conversation piece than something that like turns people away from wanting to buy our home. I'm interested to add some things like this that are more of a conversation piece and less of just like a very basic ceiling fan. Anything that can maybe improve that home value when we go to buy is ideal for me right now. So as you can see here, my husband's just taking off the old light fixture. This didn't take too long once we figured out how to do it, but like I said, the first time there was a little bit of a learning curve there. And then the Parrot Uncle, we were a little nervous with the light fixture needing to have a lot of installation, but there really wasn't that many pieces to put together. There was only like those 2 main body pieces that you saw when he pulled it out of the box, and then a couple things that we had to add on there. So the actual putting together of the light was really simple. And then once we pulled the other fixture down, we just had to add this new bracket up top that came right with the light fixture. It was super easy. It just went right into the slot that the old light was already in. And then you can see here, even as one person, he was able to install this by himself. And then once he got all the wiring figured out, it was really smooth sailing. We did have to figure out how to do the wiring, considering it was a remote controlled fan. So there is kind of where the wires come out of the ceiling, you have to then attach it to the remote adapter and then to the light fixture. But actually, it was really simple. The wires were actually connected by a clip, which made it nice and easy to just clip each part together. And like I said, I think altogether, when he did this second one that you're seeing here, it probably took him an hour tops from start to finish. So we were really impressed with how easy this was. And the only thing I still need to do is go buy some new light bulbs because the ones we had were just too long. But here is the before of my older son's room with our very basic white ceiling fan that was here when we bought the house. And now this more industrial looking farmhouse light. I think it looks so cute. It looks especially good with his decor in his room. And then this is how it looks in my other boys' rooms. I'm going to flip the switch here so you can see how the fan looks and how it just kind of comes out from the top there. So another huge thanks to Parrot Uncle for this gift. And if you guys use the code GREEN, so capital GREEN at checkout at Parrot Uncle's website, you also get 10% off your order. The lights that I use today are only $99. And I'll put a direct link to these lights down in the description box below. Okay, so now I'm up at my booth. This is kind of a before picture for you of how everything looks before I add in my new items. I really like how my mom rearranged everything. We brought in this new table in the center here. I got at an estate sale that I shared with you guys a few weeks ago. And I like how she has all the books displayed here, but I unfortunately had to take most of those down, or actually all of them down, in order to add in everything else that I brought today. But I thought that was a cute book display. We sell a lot of antique books, actually. It just kind of comes and goes, though. So sometimes we'll sell a bunch and sometimes they'll sit for a while. I still have that child's hutch, which is taking forever to sell, and that chimney cabinet in the back. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do something about those. But now I've gone ahead and added all the new items in. You can see that welcome sign to the right here. So everything really just kind of fit in very nicely. Straight ahead is that shutter piece with the little wreath on it, and then the galvanized canister. And that chest I actually pulled out and my mom refinished it because it just was not selling as the solid wood. So we just had to refigure something out for that. I'll have to show you that in my next antique booth tour if it's still here. And then this display over here, I had to move the books down to add in some of my spring items on top. I always like having a little stool like this though for display purposes because it's so nice to have some different elevations for your items instead of all just being flat on the surface. So as of right now, I don't think that stool has sold yet, which is okay. I like having that as a display piece. And here's how our center display is looking. My mom brought in that bunny canister there. That's so cute. I know canister, it's not the right word, probably a covered bowl. And then my mom brought in this green easel, which I think is so pretty. Those baskets sold within a couple of days. They're such a good seller for me. I should be making more of them. And then I just hung my burlap bags just around the booth in a couple different spaces. And this pie cabinet it's hanging on is so beautiful. So here's a closer up of the shutter piece. And as I'm watching this back, I know that I already need to do another booth tour for you guys because it's already changed so much. I know that coffee tin has sold. Now this scale I don't think is sold yet, which I'm really surprised about because I didn't put a very high price on it. I think I only put $99. So I just thought it would have sold by now at that price. But maybe I need to list that online because I feel like that's a really rare item to find. Here's just another view of the booth as a whole. Definitely giving some springtime vibes. There's a little laundry sign down below. Of course, I love mixing all the shades of green and all of the greenery and florals together. But especially it works well at springtime. Let me know what is your favorite piece in the booth today, guys. And thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thanks again to Parrot Uncle for sending those lights my way. And don't forget that you can order for 10% off with the code GREEN. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.